Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today. We're diving into one of the most exciting pieces from the state quarter program, the Virginia State Quarter from the year 2000. At first glance, this quarter looks like just another part of your change, but in reality, certain rare versions of this coin can bring you an unbelievable fortune. So listen carefully, stay with me until the very end, and enjoy this journey into the fascinating world of numismatics. The Virginia Quarter was issued in 2000 as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program launched by the U.S. Mint. This program was a huge success because it celebrated each state's history, culture, and pride with unique designs. The Virginia Quarter honored the 400th anniversary of the founding of Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement in America. On this coin, you'll see 3 historic ships, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, all of which carried settlers from England to Virginia in 1607. This design not only captures the courage and hope of those first colonists, but also tells a story of beginnings that shaped the history of the United States. But here's the part that collectors truly love. While millions of Virginia quarters were produced, most of them are common and worth only face value. However, a small number of these coins carry minting errors, and those are the ones that send collectors into a frenzy. Some of the most sought-after errors include off-center strikes, double dies, and coins that were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine holding a quarter that has a doubled image of the ship's sails or one that is slightly misaligned. That tiny mistake instantly transforms a simple 25-cent piece into a rare collectible worth thousands. Condition is another huge factor when it comes to value. Coins that have been heavily circulated will usually only fetch a few cents more than their face value, but those in pristine, uncirculated condition can command serious prices. Collectors often search for coins graded by professional services, where the shine, strike quality, and overall preservation determine just how high the value can go. Finding a Virginia quarter in such flawless condition is becoming increasingly rare, and that rarity is exactly what drives up the price. Now, let's talk about why error coins are such a big deal. The U.S. Mint has high standards, so mistakes are uncommon. When they do happen, the number of error coins is incredibly small compared to the millions of regular ones produced. That scarcity is what collectors chase, because owning an error coin is like owning a one-of-a-kind piece of history. And when it comes to the Virginia quarter, some of these minting mistakes are so rare that their values skyrocket at auctions and among private collectors. Oh, here's the exciting part you've been waiting for. If you are lucky enough to own a 2000 Virginia State Quarter with a rare error and in top condition, its value can climb to an astonishing $82,000. That's right. Just one small quarter that most people overlook can actually be worth more than a luxury car or even a down payment on a house. So the next time you come across a Virginia quarter, don't toss it aside. Take a closer look. You might just be holding a life-changing treasure. Top 2, we're traveling to the Pacific to talk about one of the most unique coins from the United States Mint, the 2009 Guam State Quarter. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary piece of change, but some of these quarters are hiding secrets that make them extremely valuable. Stay tuned, listen closely, and enjoy this story of history, rarity, and hidden treasure. The Guam Quarter was released in 2009 as part of the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarter Program. After the original 50 State Quarters series ended in 2008, the Mint decided to honor America's territories, including Puerto Rico, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the Northern Mariana Islands, and Guam. This made the Guam Quarter a special issue, representing not just history but also pride in a unique community. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see a powerful design featuring a map of Guam, the outline of the island itself, and a flying prow, which is a traditional sailing vessel used by the Chamorro people. Alongside it, there's also the latte stone, a cultural symbol of strength and identity for the people of Guam. The design tells the story of endurance, heritage, and the connection between the island's people and their traditions. On the obverse, like all quarters in this series, is the familiar portrait of George Washington, a constant reminder of the unity of the United States. Now here's where things get exciting for collectors. While millions of Guam quarters were minted, most of them entered circulation and were used in everyday transactions. This means that finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is already a challenge. But what makes this coin truly valuable are the rare minting errors that slipped through production. Collectors are always hunting for these unusual versions because they are the ones that turn a simple 25-cent coin into something worth a fortune. Some of the known errors in Guam quarters include double die strikes, off-center strikes, and missing or weak details in the design. In certain cases, parts of the map or the prow appear doubled, creating a fascinating visual effect that instantly sets the coin apart. Off-center errors are also striking, where the design is noticeably shifted, leaving blank space on one side of the coin. These flaws make the coin unique. No two are exactly alike, and that rarity is what collectors are willing to pay serious money for. The condition of the coin also plays a huge role. If a Guam quarter has been heavily circulated with scratches, discoloration, or damage, it will generally only hold face value. But when the coin is preserved in mint state condition, with its shine and details intact, it can fetch an impressive sum. Combine that with a rare minting error, and suddenly you're holding one of the most desirable quarters from the entire U.S. territory series. Think about it this way. While most people pass these quarters around in change without a second thought, collectors see them as pieces of history and culture. Each error coin tells a story, not only about Guam's heritage, but also about the fascinating process of how coins are struck and how even small mistakes at the mint can create something extraordinary. Oh, here's the part you've been waiting for. If you were lucky enough to come across a 2009 Guam quarter in flawless, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting error, its value can rise all the way to an incredible $79,000. That's right. Just imagine holding a single quarter that most people see as spare change, only to find out it could be worth the same as a luxury car or even more. This is why collectors keep searching, why treasure hunters never stop looking through their coins, and why stories like this make numismatics so exciting. Top 3, we are exploring one of the most beautiful and symbolic coins from the state quarter program, the Oklahoma State Quarter from 2008. At first glance, this coin looks like just another quarter you'd find in your pocket. But the truth is that certain rare versions of this coin are highly sought after by collectors, and their value may surprise you. So sit back, listen carefully, and enjoy this exciting journey into one of America's hidden treasures. The Oklahoma quarter was released in 2008 as the 46th coin in the 50 state quarters program. Each state quarter highlighted something special about the state's history or culture, and Oklahoma chose a design that celebrated both beauty and resilience. On the reverse, you'll find the state bird, the scissor-tailed flycatcher, soaring gracefully across the coin. Around the bird, there's a cluster of wildflowers, the Indian blanket, Oklahoma's state flower. Together, this design represents the freedom of flight and the colorful natural beauty of the state. The obverse, like every coin in the series, features the familiar portrait of George Washington. But here's where the story gets really interesting. Millions of Oklahoma quarters were minted in 2008, and most of them are common. If you spin one today, it will only be worth 25 cents. However, a small fraction of these coins were struck with unusual minting errors, and those are the coins that collectors chase. These errors can transform an ordinary quarter into a piece worth thousands. Some of the errors reported in Oklahoma quarters include double die strikes, where the details, such as the feathers of the bird or the lettering, appear doubled. There are also off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, leaving blank space on the coin's surface. In some rare cases, coins have even been struck on the wrong type of planchet, creating an entirely different weight and appearance. These mistakes are not intentional. They happen during production, and that's exactly what makes them so rare and valuable. Condition is another crucial factor. Most of the Oklahoma quarters you find today have been through years of circulation, showing scratches, wear, and discoloration. While those are fun to collect, the real treasure lies in coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors pay premium prices for coins graded by professional services that certify their shine, detail, and strike quality. An Oklahoma quarter with both an error and mint state preservation becomes a true prize in the collecting world. Now think about this for a moment. This coin was the last state quarter to be released in 2008, just before the U.S. Mint transitioned to new designs in the following year. That timing makes it special because it represents the closing chapter of the iconic 50 state quarters program, which was one of the most successful coin programs in American history. Collectors love owning the coins that marked these turning points, and that adds even more value to the Oklahoma quarter story. It's easy to overlook coins like this because we see them every day in our change. But hidden among the common pieces are rare gems, coins that slipped through the mint with unique characteristics, waiting for someone sharp-eyed enough to notice them. That's why coin collectors and treasure hunters never stop searching. And now for the part you've been waiting for. If you happen to find a 2008 Oklahoma State quarter in flawless, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting error, its value could rise to an astonishing $77,000. That's right. Just one small quarter that most people spend without a second thought could be worth more than a brand new luxury car. So check your change carefully, look through your coin jars, and never underestimate the power of the coins you carry. Top 4, we're diving into one of the standout pieces from the 50 State Quarters program, the Nebraska State Quarter from 2006. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary quarter, but this little coin carries a fascinating design, a rich history, and in rare cases, an astonishing value. So stay tuned, listen carefully, and enjoy this exciting journey. The Nebraska quarter was released in 2006 as part of the hugely popular State Quarter series. Each coin in the program highlighted a state's unique history, culture, or landmarks. For Nebraska, the design is nothing short of spectacular. On the reverse, you'll see an engraving of Chimney Rock, one of the most famous natural landmarks along the historic Oregon Trail. Rising like a spire from the plains, Chimney Rock became a guiding landmark for thousands of pioneers who traveled westward in the 1800s. Next to it, there's a covered wagon pulled by oxen, symbolizing the courage and determination of those early settlers. The obverse side features the familiar portrait of George Washington, tying the coin to the broader American story. This design isn't just beautiful. It tells a powerful tale of exploration, hardship, and perseverance. That storytelling aspect is one of the reasons collectors love the Nebraska quarter. But beyond the artistry, what really excites collectors is rarity, condition, and errors. Millions of Nebraska quarters were produced for circulation, and most of them can still be found in change today. However, coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are much harder to find. Years of handling, scratches, and wear diminish their quality. But when you find a Nebraska quarter that still shines as though it just left the mint, its value can jump dramatically. Now let's talk about the real treasure, error coins. These are the coins that collectors dream about. A few Nebraska quarters left the mint with mistakes that make them unique. Some have been discovered with double die errors, where parts of the design, such as the lettering or the details of Chimney Rock, appear doubled. Others show off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably, leaving blank spaces on the coin. Even rarer, some may have been struck on the wrong type of planchet, giving them an unusual weight or color. These accidents are rare, and that rarity is what makes them so valuable. Collectors love error coins because they are essentially one-of-a-kind pieces of history. Unlike regular quarters, which exist in the millions, error coins often number in the dozens, or even fewer. When one appears at auction, the competition is fierce. Add to that the fact that Nebraska's design is already one of the most admired in the entire state quarter program, and you have a recipe for a highly desirable collectible. Another factor driving interest is that the Nebraska quarter came out during the later years of the state quarter program. By 2006, collecting had become hugely popular, and more people were paying attention to their change. This makes error versions of the Nebraska quarter even more special because many were quickly spotted and set aside by collectors. Finding one today in top condition is an achievement that excites even seasoned coin enthusiasts. It's easy to overlook a coin like this in your pocket or a jar of change at home. But hidden among the ordinary coins are treasures that can change someone's life. This is why collectors and treasure hunters never stop looking. The Nebraska quarter is a perfect example of how history, beauty, and rarity can come together in one small piece of metal. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. If you are fortunate enough to discover a 2006 Nebraska state quarter in flawless, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting error, it could be worth an extraordinary $75,000. That's right. Just one quarter, a simple coin that most people spend without thinking twice, could actually be worth more than a brand new car or even a year's salary. So check your change, go through your coin collections, and keep your eyes open. You never know, you might already be holding a piece of history that carries incredible value. Top 5, we're turning our attention to one of the earliest releases from the legendary 50 state quarters program, the Massachusetts state quarter from the year 2000. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary piece of change, but as you'll soon discover, certain rare versions of this coin can be worth a staggering amount of money. So stay with me until the very end, listen carefully, and enjoy this fascinating journey. The Massachusetts quarter was issued in 2000 as the sixth coin in the 50 state quarters series, which ran from 1999 to 2008 and became one of the most popular coin programs in U.S. history. This coin captures a powerful piece of symbolism for the state. On the reverse, you'll see a detailed image of the famous Minuteman statue standing tall with his musket, representing the citizen soldiers of the American Revolution. Behind the statue is an outline of the state of Massachusetts, with a star marking the capital, Boston. Together, this design connects the state's revolutionary heritage with its identity in modern America. The obverse features the timeless portrait of George Washington. Just like the rest of the state quarters, this design is more than just artistic. It's patriotic, bold, and a reminder of the important role Massachusetts played in shaping the country's independence. Collectors are naturally drawn to coins that tell a story, and this one is loaded with history. But as we all know, what really excites coin enthusiasts is not just the design, but rarity, condition, and those elusive minting errors. Now here's where it gets interesting. Millions of Massachusetts quarters were minted for circulation, and most of them are common, worth only their face value of 25 cents. But a small percentage of these coins came out of the mint with errors, and that's where things get truly exciting. Error coins are like hidden treasures, tiny mistakes in production that make a coin unique and far more valuable than its ordinary counterparts. Some examples of errors found on the Massachusetts quarter include double die strikes, where parts of the design, such as the Minuteman's musket or the lettering, appear doubled. There are also off-center strikes, where the entire design is shifted, leaving unusual blank spaces. And in rare cases, these quarters were struck on the wrong type of planchet, resulting in coins that look and feel noticeably different from the standard version. Because these errors are so rare, collectors are willing to pay incredible amounts of money to add them to their collections. Condition is another critical factor. A Massachusetts quarter that has been circulated for years, with scratches and wear, will likely only be worth its face value. But if you find one that has been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one graded by a professional service, its value skyrockets. Combine that with a minting error, and suddenly you're holding one of the most sought-after state quarters in existence. It's also worth noting that the Massachusetts quarter was among the earliest releases in the program. Early issues tend to be especially popular among collectors because they mark the beginning of a groundbreaking coin series that engaged millions of Americans. That added historical importance gives the Massachusetts quarter an extra boost in desirability, making rare error versions even more valuable. Think about it for a moment. Most people who received this coin in their change back in 2000 spent it without giving it a second thought. But hidden among those millions of ordinary coins were a few extraordinary pieces that could someday change hands for tens of thousands of dollars. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what treasures might be hiding right in front of you. And now for the part you've been waiting for. If you happen to find a Massachusetts state quarter from the year 2000 in flawless, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting error, its value could reach an incredible $72,000. That's right. One single quarter, a simple 25-cent coin, could be worth more than a year's salary or even the cost of a luxury car. So make sure to check your change carefully, look through old jars and coin rolls, and pay attention to the details. You never know, you could already be holding a piece of American history that is worth far more than you ever imagined. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about the Massachusetts quarter, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future discoveries. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and may your next coin be the rare one.